By Michael Settle. It was only 3 months ago that Boris Johnson pledged his total loyalty to Sajid Javid. The Prime Minister told the Confederation of British Industry, CBI, "I'm going to give you an absolutely categorical assurance that I will keep Sajid Javid as my Chancellor. He's a great guy and he's doing a fantastic job and I'm proud to count him as a colleague." As Mr Javid walked up Downing Street yesterday morning, smiling and relaxed, no one outside of the inner sanctum of Downing Street had a clue what was about to happen. Within minutes Mr Johnson was laying down an ultimatum to his colleague to hand over the power of the Treasury into his hands by agreeing to the sacking of all of his advisers and the formation of a new team serving a combined economic unit in Downing Street. It seemed that after months and months the power struggle between Mr Javid and Dominic Cummings, Mr Johnson's key strategist, had come to a head and the Chancellor was about to lose out. The Midlands MP made clear the price was too high, resigned and left Downing Street after just 7 months as Chancellor and barely a month before his first budget. Later Mr Javid told reporters he was asked to replace all of his political advisers to stay on in the role. "I was unable to accept those conditions and I do not believe any self-respecting minister would accept those conditions," he declared, adding, "I felt I was left with no option but to resign." His replacement is his deputy Rishi Sunak, a former investment banker, whose father-in-law is an Indian billionaire. Arriving at the Treasury, the Yorkshire MP said he was delighted to be appointed Chancellor and had a lot to get on with. But John McDonnell, the shadow Chancellor, branded him Mr Cummings' stooge and claimed the number 10 strategist now had complete control of the Treasury. His Labour colleague, Ian Murray, the MP for Edinburgh South, added, "This extraordinary reshuffle has revealed who is really in charge of this government, Dominic Cummings." Controversy surrounded other moves. The sacking of Julian Smith, the Northern Ireland Secretary, who had helped restore Stormont after years of inactivity, was met with dismay and surprise on either side of the border. Colm Eastwood, who leads the nationalist SDLP, tweeted, "Sacking the most successful SOs in a decade shows Johnson's dangerous indifference to us." Simon Coveney, Ireland's Deputy Prime Minister, told Mr Smith, "Without your leadership I don't believe you would have a government today." The Scots-born Mr Smith was replaced by Brandon Lewis, the Security Minister. Meanwhile, the appointment of Suella Braverman as Attorney General, succeeding Geoffrey Cox, caused consternation in some quarters. Last month, the Hampshire MP wrote that Parliament had to retrace power ceded to the courts, arguing for more on this story. Visit the news article link.